Hello and welcome to this week's show. I'm Janet Lewis.
And I'm Dr. Lewis.
And we are here ready to bring you another show. Dr. Lewis always says it's not exciting, so I'm going to have to change my words to something else because I think it's supposed to be funny today, from what I understand.
I hope it's exciting.
And as exciting as we can make this, we're going to talk about hormones, aging, and cancer. So, Dr. Lewis, I'm going to let you take it from there, and you tell us what you've got up your sleeve.
Well, I was told a couple of times, once by my sweet wife on Facebook and once by Dr. O'Mara on Facebook, that I needed to have filters. And believe it or not, when I get really crazy, that is filtered. I think my biggest frustration is I see people, or I give people answers, and then I see their health go downhill because they choose not to use the answers. And it frustrates me because I think we all deserve and are capable of having a healthy, happy life. And healthy and happy. And that goes back to the spiritual side of it. You have to be able to accept it. So this show's going to have a lot of Stephenisms in it, like getting old is not the same as aging. Pay attention to that one. And I'd like to tell people that being healthy is not a reward for starting, it's a reward for finishing. So it's the ones that kind of get started and stick with it that get the results. And I'm going to get into some, semi sort of technical stuff too. But, for the most part, I do want you to have fun. I do want it to be exciting. I just don't always know that, I don't necessarily think that I'm exciting, but knowledgeable, yes. One of the things that Lincoln said one time is if he had 8 hours to chop down a tree, he'd spend 6 hours to sharpen his axe. And I think in America, for a large degree, we've forgotten that our bodies are smart and that it's endowed by God with an innate or inborn intelligence so that if it has the right materials to work with, it can actually heal itself. And again, this is going to be kind of all over the place. One of the biggest challenges I have, and Janet, is to name these things because I am so much all over the place. I want to talk about priorities a little bit. And people are funny with their priorities. We sell a product more because it will help decrease wrinkles and help hold the skin together, even though that same collagen-producing supplement or the supplement that helps your body produce its own collagen, even though that's the matrix for healthy bones. And I used to tell people if you have bone density test that doesn't get worse, that's a positive outcome. But I've actually seen quite a few that within 1, 2, 3 years, they actually reversed some of the bone loss. And Janet and I are learning a lot all the time. And that's why I have bags under my eyes, because I read too much and talk to other people that are scientists, actually. And there are some really exciting products that we have and some that are coming very, very soon. So we're getting better results with people that have lost a lot of the bone density.
Is there a way for you to tell that if you've lost bone density for people that don't go to the doctor or want to have the bone scans done? Can you see that on your lab?
You can suspect it, if you have too much calcium and it's high. But I personally, we get a lot of people that want to do the natural thing and think that's the end all and be all, and they're talking bad about the medical profession. And I think that's a big mistake. I think the medical profession does a lot of really good things. I think you should get your bone density test. I've never met an MD or a DO that wasn't a great person that had the best interest at heart. So don't be anti. And, this isn't everything. It's just, I think, the biggest missing piece in health in America is what Janet and I do. But please, keep seeing your MD. You need them. They're great people.
And I think bone density tests are great because we've had people that have actually had those done several years in a row. And because of the supplements that we put them on, they're actually reversing the bone loss. The doctor can't believe it, and it's beyond vitamin D.
Oh, yeah. If a doctor tells you vitamin D and calcium, that's elementary school. Don't come see us. And sometimes Janet and I will mention different products, and you kind of really have to call us first to get them because you're not able to see them on our website unless you are a patient and have created an account. So if we talk about something you want to know more about, be willing to call us, 903-663-1008, and you'll get the sexy voice on the other side of the mic, not mine.
Or just send me an email, which is on the website also. And once you've created an account, I can upgrade you so that you can see the other products.
Yeah, and, I'm just going to throw out a lot of Stevenisms, and hopefully you can get some sort of wisdom out of it. If a drug fixed the problem, you could really get off of it when it fixed the problem. But to create health, it takes time, effort, and money. Eating is either an act of nourishment or an act of assisted suicide. And many people get hooked and they say, but I don't like the taste of this. I said, well, I don't eat a lot of things because of the taste. I eat it because it's a good thing. And there are many things that I think taste good that I really don't eat. You'll hear me talk about Girl Scout cookies and ice cream, but I don't do that very often. And I had a sweet lady the other day says, well, I knew you were the one I wanted to be my coach because you were real. I said, well, what's unreal? And she says, well, you eat Girl Scout cookies. I said, I'm not going to insult my little Girl Scout hookup. I'm going to buy cookies and eat a few. I give away about 95% of them. But think about this, folks. If you have a disease, that's what's called adaptive physiology. That means your body's adapted to something that's missing or maybe too many toxins. So we were going to talk about male health because many, many males have low testosterone. You see all the ads on TV. And then you see the lawyers' ads about if you took this testosterone replacement, had a stroke, heart attack, or death, call us and we'll sue them. So the point is, why are we losing our testosterone? The answer to a large degree is the estrogen mimicking environmental chemicals. But if you are overweight, you have to understand that fat cells actually take testosterone, converts it to estrogen, which grows your prostate. So if you have a prostate, there's only one R, guys. I hear that all day. Prostrate. No, one R. And when you have it converts testosterone to estrogen and your prostate begins to grow, it increases your blood lipids, cholesterol. So think about it. Getting cholesterol down just for the sake of getting it down is not good unless you find out what the underlying reason is. And that's usually high blood sugar because we eat too much sugar, too many carbs, and diabetes is not, and other disease processes, it's not your genetics, it's not germs, and it's not bad luck, it's bad habits. And people say, well, that's what my daddy told me. I said, well, he was wrong. So remember, adaptive physiology. So when you're overweight, the adipose tissue is an endocrine organ. I just saw on Facebook a while ago that a friend of mine's getting a shot in his back, and he's quite a few years younger than me. I kind of adopted him when he was a kid to take him hunting and fishing and be a daddy figure to him, and I love this guy. I love this man. But he's going to get a shot in his back, and he told me 3 or 4 months ago, says, Doc, I really wish I'd have listened to you. And I said, what about? He said, I should have taken better care of myself. I said, yeah, well, you can't carry an extra 100, 150 pounds and not wonder why your back's going to heck in a bucket. That's filtered, folks. I love the man, and it frustrates me to see his life. He's in his 40s, and his life is not nearly as good as it could be. Yes, it takes effort, and yes, sometimes we have to do effort that we don't necessarily like, but the rewards are so great. Then there's another thing that we don't talk about a lot is sex hormone binding globulin and GH, growth hormone. Well, that's the one that goes low at night if your body's full of sugar or glucose. So think the ones that are diabetic and pre-diabetic also, and it lowers testosterone on a man. So think about it. You can lose weight. There's just so much to be said. I'm sure, I don't know how much I'm going to get around to, but back in 2010, there was 3 times more Americans that were obese as compared to 1960. So in 50 years, we have 3 times the obesity, and 6 times that are morbidly obese, which is the body mass index of above 40, which is pretty fluffy. Let me tell you what, and I've been wanting to talk about cancer for a long time. And, if you have cancer, you always want to see an oncologist, somebody that specializes in cancer. Now, I have some that I suggest, and because they take an integrative approach. So low testosterone can actually contribute to many of the cancers, and just the excess body fat alone. And I'm talking about body fat and cancer because that's either from low testosterone or helps create low testosterone. So the body fat increases 49% of endometrial cancers, 35% of esophageal cancers, 28% of pancreatic cancers, and that's a pretty bad, fast-moving cancer, and that's why you need a really good cancer doctor. Increases 24% of kidney cancers, 21% of gallbladder cancers, 17% of breast cancers, and 9% of colorectal cancers, and that's just one factor, and that's being obese. I hate it, but, here's the thing. Some will.
Are you saying that low testosterone can contribute to those? Yeah,
and obesity, how it ties in. It's usually not one thing, and people usually get in, it's this one thing. Well, it's the reductionist thinking that gets us in trouble in the first place. Like, oh, I'm a thyroid patient. No, what's causing that? I want people to look at it. Well, if this, therefore, what about this and this and this and this? And if you think several steps beyond that, you need deductive reasoning, but you need inductive reasoning. So, a good blend between the two. My body mass index is, in the normal range. And there's a lot of things that I do. It's like I don't eat the Girl Scout cookies. I don't eat very many of them anyway. But
you just said you ate Girl Scout cookies. Now you don't eat Girl Scout cookies.
I don't eat many of them so far.
You're confusing everyone.
Okay.
You're saying moderation, right?
Well, I bought, I don't know how many boxes I got. Do you know, Janet?
A lot of money's worth. Dr. Lewis is her favorite customer.
Okay, well, I got a bunch. I've eaten half a box of one type and half a box of the other, and I think really I got 50-something boxes.
And he's had them about 3 weeks now.
Well, but, we've given them to the lady at the cleaners and the lady at the bank and where else?
Anywhere we like new patients.
The AT&T guys that come in here and try to get our phone lines. So I'm sorry the phone lines have been messed up because AT&T, they have a win-back department. They want us back, and they're not earning that, but that's another thing. Your goal should be to die young. Old age, young body. And that's real possible because most people don't believe I'm as old as I am. And I certainly don't act it. And Janet will tell you I act about half my age, and I act younger than her, which is really surprising because she's young and hot anyway. 1/3 of all cancers are linked to obesity, poor diet, and inactivity. And I'm that's from the American Cancer Society.
Plus, you're just depressed when you have all that inactivity, poor diet.
Yeah, which causes which? Does inactivity cause depression? I think so. Does depression cause inactivity? I think so.
And cold weather does too.
Yeah, it's kind of gloomy here in Texas. But, sometimes you have to pick yourself up by the bootstraps and talk good, because if you talk bad, you're going to get more of it. And although all cancers, I think, involve your genes, it's not that all cancer is hereditary, because only about 5% of all cancers are very strongly hereditary. It's an inherited genetic alteration that creates a higher risk of developing one or more specific types of cancer. But it's not from inherited genes. It's from the genes that have been damaged, and that's the toxins that Janet and I consistently talk about. If you up your nutrient level, then your body has more of ability to detox. And we had that question. Is it time for questions?
Sure. We have some questions. You want to take question
Well,
time now? You're all over the place. I'm just following your lead, so whatever you're doing.
Really? I can dance and lead? Okay. I'm Baptist. I can't dance until I've had enough to drink. I can't. So inhibits or stops the inhibitory thought of I can't dance. Lauren asked me, young sweet girl, because she's reading online about detox, and she said they said that you should detox once or twice a year. I really agree with that, but there's different ways to detox and different needs for different people. And she says, what do you think about this product? I said, well, we have one that's almost exactly the same, only it costs half as much. You have to be real careful because there's a lot of hooey, smoke mirrors, and I see all kinds of people doing all kinds of products, and most of them aren't working. They cost 2 or 3 times as much as they should. So, be careful about that.
Well, I had a question from a lady that's been having horrific gut problems, and you're talking about depression and things like that. When you've got bad digestion,
contributes to low testosterone too.
Yes, but it also causes everything to not function correctly, and we're pretty excited. This product just came out. It used to be a prescription that, from our understanding, cost the patient $400 a month for this because it helped heal the GI tract and the intestines.
And immune problems, leaky gut. Yeah.
Yes, and people with Crohn's and that kind of thing, autoimmune problems in the gut. And the company one of the companies we love, Orthomolecular, actually got the patent on it to make it. And when drug companies could no longer sell it at that high cost and no one would buy it, they decided to release that patent. So
but it's not a drug. That's
right.
The cool part.
So Orthomolecular bought it and made a natural herbal product out of it. And it's called SBI, like Sam Boy Indigo, SBI Protect. It's in a powder or capsules, and it will actually, if you've got bad leaky gut problems, that's actually a bad immune problem as well, because that's what happens. It starts leaking out, and then your immune system crashes, or you can't get your immune system very high. And I'm particularly happy about it because I have that problem, and it's the IgGs and the immunoglobulins that make it work.
So if you have any kind of autoimmune disease, this would be really kick butt in a good way.
Yeah, so that's a great product. And the lady that I was going to tell you about, she's always got horrible digestive problems. And she said, the minute that comes out, please let me know it's here. And we've got her on it now. So she's really excited about that as well. And I'm hoping some other people will let us know how they're doing on it, because it's going to be a game changer.
Yeah, very much so. We always say go to the gut, fix inflammation. And there's a report, 517 pages, Food, Nutrition, Physical Activity, and the Prevention of Cancer, a Global Perspective. It's the largest study that explored the connection between lifestyle and cancer, and it's the work of, I think, 9 independent research teams that evaluated like 7,000 existing studies. And what they found was that lifestyle changes, et cetera, could prevent at least 30% of all cancer cases. And 2/3 of the cancer cases are caused by factors that doesn't just include genetic predisposition, but it includes ultraviolet light, chemical pollutants, and smoking that Janet and I talk about. So, yes, cleanse yourself. Yes, do it correctly. Call us, and we can go from there. I think Janet has another question turned in from someone.
Tricia, which is kind enough to send us different questions. Tricia M. She's wanting to know about tooth decay. She's got, was sitting at the dentist with 4 of her children. 2 no dental problems, and 2 had several cavities. Diet and brushing habits are the same, so she's not sure she trusts the fluoride rinse because that was supposed to help with the teeth. So her question is, what do you do about tooth decay? Why is it bad, and why is it not bad on some others? And I got an answer for that.
Okay, go right ahead.
I know part of it.
Go right ahead. She knows.
Because I experienced that too.
She has perfect teeth, and she gets younger by the year.
My perfect teeth were beginning to rot at the root. I actually, before I found out about natural medicine,
Not rotting as in decay, just receding.
Well, I was chewing a piece of gum. I was about 25, and a whole tooth came out. And I thought, oh my goodness, what's going on? Well, it turns out that your teeth, your gums, have got very much everything to do with your gut health. And I have always had horrible gut health. And whenever you can't get the right nutrition, then your teeth start disappearing. And I have beautiful teeth. I mean, the whole tooth just came out. So I think a lot of
I didn't know that.
I'm sorry, I have a fake one. You didn't know, and I'm not going to tell you where it is.
Really, I didn't know that. Geez, I'm a bad husband.
But anyway, as time has gone on, my teeth are actually healthier now in this age I am, which is not 25 anymore. And I'm actually getting better dental reports than I have ever gotten. The gum health has got a whole lot to do with it. If they're bloody and red, that's a sign of your gut health as well.
Yeah, and cardiovascular health too.
Right. And now you can see they're very light pink and pretty. And, the thing that we use, and people need to do their own thing, but the big thing that we use for tooth or mouthwash stuff, we very much like Young Living oils. They've got a mouthwash called Thieves that we use, and then we get the food-grade hydrogen peroxide and mix the two together. I personally make it a little hotter because of my gum situation, and I don't like going to the dentist, so I do everything I can to make sure I don't have to go very often. Dr. Lewis doesn't like it that hot, so...
And I don't go to the dentist anyway. That's not true. I love my dentist. She's a great lady.
But he doesn't need it as bad as I do, and so we don't mix it that hot. But you really need to watch the food-grade hydrogen peroxide because it will burn you. It's not the It's not the stuff you're buying in the drugstore. We
have that too. But the other thing, Trish, for your kids is probiotics, because I put probiotics in my mouth, and we have those. And the good, there's certain types of probiotics that can actually decrease plaquing, and we have those.
And we have a toothpaste that
that's true.
We have used for years. It's got those same probiotics Dr. Lewis is talking about that are loose that you put in the mouth. Mm-hmm. It's in their toothpaste also. It's a Designs for Health product. It's called Perio Paste or something like that. I'll look it up and put it in the show notes, but it's something we do carry here in the store, and we've been using that forever. So between those three, the dentist really can't find anything wrong when I go in now. So I'm pretty excited about that because I'm not real thrilled with doing anything that they have going on there because it's usually pretty painful.
And probiotics are so incredibly important, even in the expression of the microbiome in your GI tract to decrease cancer, to increase testosterone, and to decrease weight. We have one that's actually Streptococcus salivarius, and that is a good strep. And we've had so many people that take this. It's for ear, nose, and throat. And people come in and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe it! My throat is just so much better," and it kills the bad strep. So, and sometimes within 1 or 2 tablets, it's kind of an incredible thing.
And I'll let you handle this question when we're still on the mouth here. Joe L.
from Saline, Michigan
is asking about mercury fillings. He wants to know if it's worth it to remove mercury fillings from your mouth.
Oh, really controversial. Thanks, Joe. The quick answer is I do not know. I talked to 2 different dentists many years ago, and neither one of them thought it was a big deal. One of them says, well, my dad used to do it, and, he'd, mix the amalgam with his hand. I said, yeah, but mercury is a major contributing factor to kidney cancer. What did he die from? She said kidney cancer. And I don't know. Some dentist thinks it's okay. I'd say get 2 or 3 opinions. But both of these dentists participated just to humor me and took the mercury out of my mouth. One, the more meticulous one, used a rubber dam, and I didn't get sick at all. The other one is just like, yeah, okay, drilling. I swallowed a lot of that stuff, and I got really, really sick. I personally don't want mercury in my mouth, but you've got to understand, some of the dental bonding agents, like what is it called, methyl acrylate, I think, has been known to cause sudden heart attacks. I mean, there's toxins everywhere. So,
and playing with those thermometers when you were a kid, or when you were our age, they were popular.
Yeah,
they had mercury in them. You'd break them open, and then
play with it in our hands. But the point is, you can't really avoid all the toxins. I think it's better if you decrease the toxins, but if you're going to do that, talk to a biological dentist, which I don't know if they kind of overplay that. I don't know. But I would sure be jacked up on some liver cleansing stuff, and we have some liposomal glutathione and things that will clean, and make you feel good. And just so that if it does get in your system, that your body can detox that. There's so many detoxification pathways that we're going to talk about in the future anyway.
Yeah, that liposomal recharge is really excellent for that to detoxify out.
If I get sluggish and grumpy, she brings it to me and says, "Here, drink it." And it's like, well, that wasn't whiskey. She says, no, it wasn't. So,
okay, what is this from Lauren T. from Texas? What is a great occasional cleanse?
Well, that's the one I talked about a while back.
CM Core?
Oh, I didn't talk about that. Oh, you're good.
That's what I'm asking.
You're good. That's a really good one. Again, it's going to be a different product for different people. I like the CM Core because it has berberine and alpha lipoic acid. And alpha lipoic acid is a cleanser. Like, oh my God, you need to get some of that every day in your system. And the berberine has a tendency to help the microbiome in the diet or in the GI tract to work correctly.
And the berberine also helps you stop sugar cravings. So if you're craving a lot of dairy,
Girl Scout cookies,
Mexican food,
don't be racist,
and you're feeling yeasty, CM Core is a great one to clean all of that up.
Yeah. And so just to go back to, yes, I think cleansing is very, very good, but I've seen some of those infomercials on TV, and I think of the term BS, and that stands for belief systems or bacon sandwich, depending on whether you're talking to me or the preacher that says BS in his pulpit. He says it's bacon sandwich. I think it's belief systems. But, it's not really so much genetics that cause these problems, whether we're talking about cancer, low testosterone, or diabetes or whatever. And the reason I say that is because there was a study, and I've read a lot of them, but this one's from New England Journal of Medicine, and they checked for 44,788 pairs of twins. This was a huge study. Identical twins did not experience cancer at the same rate. So, well, if it was just genetics, it would be exactly the same. And then there's low death rate of breast and colon cancer in Japan. But once a person comes from Japan, within 2 to 3 generations, they get the same rate of colon cancer and breast cancer as anybody else living in the United States. So that would say food and environment has a lot to do with it. Well, go ahead.
And I wanted to talk a little bit about the food stuff. We were the food allergies, which was another question here. I don't know that we're going to get around to answering it this time, but numerous people have asked us about food allergy testing, and we've not recommended anything because, frankly, we think it's really overpriced, and we're trying to find an inexpensive way to include it on our website so that we could get you guys tested for food allergies that wanted to.
At a much lower cost.
Yes.
But it's got to be really, really good.
Yes.
So we're working on it.
Yeah. At the end of March, we may have more answers for that. So stay tuned for that. We are going to talk to a company about that and see if we can't get a really good price and get that added in. So hang on for that one. And in the meantime, those of you who have done lab or have not done lab and don't know what we do, you can always start with lab work because we think ultimately that's the first place to start to see what's going on with your health. When you go on our website at greenwisdomhealth.com, you will see the lab panels there. And always make sure that you pick one of the ones that start with GWH. They'll have a number in them, a 1 through 7. And those all include Dr. Lewis's complimentary consultation and WIT to go over your lab findings and results.
Or lack of wit.
And a supplement schedule of his recommendations so that you're no longer guessing at what's going on with your health. So if you've heard a lot of good information today, and hopefully you have and can put it in some sort of order, we have a whole lot of things to talk about.
So I've got notes that I can go 3 or 4 more podcasts, and it'll be just as convoluted as this. So look forward to it. Buckle your seatbelt. We'll be back after a little bit.
And we'll talk to you next time. Have a great day.